Krishna, to whomever managed to stumble upon this ASMR video. Perhaps even a fellow insomniac. And you, today we'll read the third part of the prayer of the demigod Krishna, in which we're actually reading the actual prayers. I have a new mic, and I am currently recording on OBS. The picture you're seeing is of the Murti of Sheshashayi Vishnu, the form of Vishnu that sleeps on an Antashesh and from whose belly a belly button or Brahma takes birth. Now, without any further ado, let us read. At this time, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, accompanied by great sages like Narada and followed by many other demigod, invisibly appeared in the house of Kamsa. They began to pray to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and selected verses which are very pleasing to the devotees and who award fulfillment of their desires. The first word they spoke acclaimed that the Lord is true to his vow. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna descends to this material world just to protect the pious and destroy the impious. That's his vow. The demigods could understand that the Lord had taken his residence within the womb of Devaki to fulfill his vow, and they were very glad that the Lord was appearing in order to fulfill his mission. Then the demigod addressed the Lord as Satyam Para, or the Supreme Absolute Truth. Everyone is searching after the truth, that is the philosophical way of life. The demigods give information that the Supreme Absolute Truth is Krishna. One who becomes fully Krishna conscious can attain the Absolute Truth. Krishna is the Absolute Truth because, unlike relative truth, he is truth in all three phases of eternal time. Time is divided into past, present, and future. Krishna is truth always, past, present, and future. In a material world, everything has been controlled by supreme time. In the course of past, present, and future, but before the creation, Krishna was existing, and when there is creation, everything is resting in Krishna, and when this creation is finished, Krishna will remain. Therefore, he is the absolute truth in all circumstances. If there is any truth within this material world, it emanates from the Supreme Truth Krishna. If there is any opulence within the material world, the cause of the opulence is Krishna. If there is any reputation within this material world, the cause of the reputation is Krishna. If there is any strength within this material world, the cause of the strength is Krishna. If there is any wisdom and education within this material world, the cause of such wisdom and education is Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is the source of all relative truths. This material world is composed of five principal elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether, and all such elements are emanation from Krishna. The material scientist just like two birds. One bird is the localized aspect of Krishna, known as the Paramatma, and the other bird is the living entity. The living entity is eating the fruit of this material manifestation. Sometimes he eats the fruit of happiness, and sometimes he eats the fruit of distress. But the other bird is not interested in eating the fruit of distress or happiness because he is self-satisfied. The Katha Upanishad states that one bird on the tree of the body is eating the fruit, and the other bird is simply witnessing. The root of this tree extends in three directions. This means that the roots of the tree is the three modes of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. Just as the tree roots expands, so by association of the modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, one expands its direction of material existence. The days of the fruit are of four kinds: religiosity, economic development, self-gratification, and ultimately liberation. According to the different associations in the three modes of material nature, the living entities are tasting different kinds of religiosity, different kind of economic development, different kind of sense gratification, and different kinds of liberations. Practically all material work is performed in ignorance, but because there are three qualities, sometimes the qualities of ignorance is covered with goodness or passion. The taste of this material food. I bad. The taste of this material fruit is accepted through five senses. The five sense organs through which knowledge is acquired are subjected to six kinds of whips: limitations, illusions, infirmity, death, hunger, and thirst. This material body, or material manifestation, is covered by seven layers: skin, muscles, blood, marrow, bone, fat, and semen. The branches of the tree are eight: earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and ego. There are nine gates in this body: the two eyes, the two nostrils, two ears, one mouth, one genital, one rectum, and there are 10 kinds of internal air passing within the body: prana, apana, udana, vyana, samana, etc. The two birds eaten to this tree as explained above are the living entity and the localized supreme personality of Godhead, Paramatma. The root cause of material manifestation described here is the supreme personality of Godhead. The supreme personality of Godhead expands himself to take charge of the three qualities of the material world. Vishnu takes charge of the mode of goodness, Brahma takes charge of the mode of passion, and Lord Shiva takes charge of the mode of ignorance. Brahma, by the mode of passion, created this manifestation. Lord Vishnu maintained this manifestation by the mode of goodness, and Lord Shiva annihilates it by the mode of ignorance. The whole creation ultimately rests in the Supreme Lord. He is the cause of creation, maintenance, and dissolution, and when the whole manifestation is dissolved in its subtle form as his energy, it rests within his body. At present, the demigod prayed, the Supreme Lord Krishna is appearing just for the maintenance of this manifestation. Actually, the Supreme Cause is one, but less intelligent person, being deluded by the three modes of material nature, see that the material is manifested through different causes. Those who are intelligent can see that the cause is one, Krishna, as it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Just give me a moment. Those who are intelligent, being deluded by the three modes of material nature, sees that the material world is manifested through different causes. Those who are intelligent can see that the causes one Krishna. End of the demigod speech. As it is stated in the Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sarva Karana Karana. Open quote. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the cause of all causes. End quote. Brahma is the deputation for creation. Vishnu is the expansion of Krishna for maintenance, and Lord Shiva is the expansion of Krishna for dissolution. Our dear Lord, the demigod, prayed, "It is very difficult to understand your eternal form or personality. People in general are unable to understand your actual form. Therefore, you are personally descending to exhibit your original eternal form. Somehow, people can understand the different incarnation of your lordship, but they are puzzled to understand the eternal form of Krishna with two hands, moving along among human beings exactly like one of them. This eternal form of your lordship gives ever increasing transcendental pleasure to the devotees, but for the non-devotees, this form is very dangerous. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is very pleasing to the sadhus, paritranaya sadhunam, but this form is very dangerous. Non-devotee, this form is very dangerous. End of quote. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is very pleasing to the sadhus, but this form is very dangerous for the demons, because Krishna also descends to kill the demons. He is, therefore, simultaneously pleasing to the devotees and dangerous to the demons. Open quote, "Our dear lotus-eyed Lord, you are the source of pure goodness. There are many great sages who simply by samadhi are transcendently meditating upon your lotus feet, and thus being absorbed in your thoughts, have easily transformed the great ocean of nescience created by the material nature into no more than the water in a capsule of print." End quote. The purpose of meditation is to focus the mind upon the personality of Godhead, beginning from the lotus feet. Simply by meditation on the lotus feet of the Lord, great sages cross over this vast ocean of material existence without difficulties. End quote. Open quote. "O self-illuminated one, the great saintly persons who have crossed over the oceans of nescience by the help of the transcendental boat of your lotus feet have not taken away that boat. It is still lying on this side." End quote. It is if one takes a boat to cross over a river, the boat also goes with one to the other side of the river. And so, when one reaches the destination, how can the same boat be available to those who are still on this side? To answer this difficulty, the demigod says that their prayer that the boat of the Lord's lotus feet is not taken away. The devotees still remaining on this side are able to pass over the ocean of material nature, because the pure devotee do not take the boat with them when they cross over. And when one simply approaches the boat, the whole ocean of material nescience is reduced to the size of the water in a capsule of print. Therefore, the devotees do not need to take the boat to the other side. They simply cross the ocean immediately, because the great saintly persons are compassionate toward all conditioned souls. The boat is still lying on the side. cross over the great ocean of material existence. Meditation means concentration upon the lotus feet of the Lord. Lotus feet indicate the supreme personality of Godhead, but those who are impersonalists do not recognize the lotus feet of the Lord, and therefore their object of meditation is something impersonal, which is why meditation is so hard. Don't try to think about nothing. Fills your mind with the Lord's feature, the absolute truth, the source of all emotions, form, quality, and pastime. This will make your meditation that much more pleasing and that much more potent. The demi-god expressed their mature verdict that persons who are interested in meditating on something void or impersonal cannot cross over the ocean of nescience. Such persons are simply imagining that they have become liberated. Open quote. O lotus-eyed Lord, their intelligence is contaminated because they fail to meditate upon the lotus feet of your Lordship. As a result of this neglectful activity, the impersonalists fall down again into the material way of conditioned life, although they may temporarily rise to the point of impersonal realization. Impersonalists undergo severe austerities and penances to merge themselves into the Brahman effulgence or impersonal Brahman existence, but their minds are not free from material contaminations. They have simply tried to negate the material ways of thinking. That does not mean that they have become liberated. Thus they fall down. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that the impersonalist has to undergo great tribulation in realizing his ultimate goal. At the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is also stated that without devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one cannot achieve liberation from the bondage of fruitive activities. The statement of Lord Krishna there in the Bhagavad Gita and in Srimad Bhagavatam, the statement of great sage Narada is there, and here also the demigod confirmed. Persons who have not taken the devotional service are understood to have come short of the ultimate purpose of knowledge and are not favored by your grace. Okay, so take it from me. I've been actively serving in the temple, sweeping, preparing all the plates for the priest and priestess to serve the Lord, cooking for the Lord, and doing whatever is necessary to assist those who serve Him. And I can tell you, no matter how many books you read, no matter how smart you are with the Vedas or in astrophysicism and atomic science, unless you serve Krishna physically at the best of your ability, you will never understand the whole truth. You will never understand everything. So, open quote, persons who have not taken the devotional service are understood to have come short of the ultimate purpose of knowledge and are not favored by your grace. End quote. The impersonalists simply think that they are liberated, but actually they have no feeling for the personality of Godhead. They think that when Krishna comes to this material world, he accepts a material body. They therefore overlook the transcendental body of Krishna. This is It is clearly stated in the Bhagavad Gita that to realize Brahman identification is not all. Brahman identification may help one become joyful without material attachment or detachment and to achieve the platform equanimity. But after this stage, one has to take the devotional service. When one takes the devotional service after being elevated to the platform of Brahman realization, he is then admitted to the spiritual kingdom for permanent residence and association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the result of devotional service. Those who are devotees of the Supreme Lord, the Personality of Godhead, never falls down like the impersonalist. Even if the devotees fall down, they remain affectionately attached to their Lord. They can meet all kinds of obstacles on the path of devotional service, and freely, without any fear, they can surmount such obstacles because of their surrender. They are certain that Krishna will always protect them. As it is promised by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, my devotees are never vanquished. Our dear Lord, the demi-gods, open quote, our dear Lord, end quote. Our dear Lord, the demi-gods continued, you have appeared in your original unalloyed form, the eternal form of goodness, for the welfare of all living entities within this material world. Taking advantage of your appearance, all of them can now easily understand the nature and form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Persons who belong to the four divisions of social order, the brahmacharis, grihastas, vanaprasthas, and sannyasis, can all take advantage of your appearance. Dear Lord, husband, the goddess of fortune, devotees who are dovetail in your service do not fall down from their high position like the impersonalist. Being protected by you, the devotees are able to traverse over the head of any of Maya's commanders-in-chief, who can always put stumbling block on the path of liberation. Dear Lord, you appear in your true transcendental form for the benefit of the living entities so that they can see you face to face and offer their worshipful sacrifices by ritualistic performance of the Vedas. Mystic meditation and devotional service as recommended in the scriptures. Dear Lord, if you did not appear in your eternal transcendental form, full of bliss and knowledge, a form which can eradicate all kinds of speculative ignorance about your position, then all people would simply speculate about you according to their respective modes of material nature. The appearance of Krishna is the answer to all imaginative iconography of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, according to his mode of material nature. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that the Lord is the oldest person. Therefore, a section of religionists imagine that God must be very old. And therefore they depict that form of the Lord like a very old man. But the same Brahma Samhita there is contradicted. Although he is the oldest of all living entities, he has his eternal form as a fresh youth. The exact word in this connection is Srimad Bhagavatam or Vijnanam Arjuna. Vijnanam translated on descending process of disciplic succession, as Brahma presented knowledge of Krishna in the Brahma Samhita. The Brahma Samhita is Vijnana, as realized by Brahma's transcendental experience, and in that way he presented the form and the pastime of Krishna in the transcendental abode. This knowledge is Ajnana Vidambhamarjana, that which can smash all kinds of speculation and ignorance. People are imagining the form of the Lord. Sometimes he has no form, and sometimes he has form, according to their different imagination. But the presentation of Krishna in the Brahma Samhita is Vijnana, scientific experience knowledge given by Lord Brahma and accepted by Lord Chaitanya. There is no doubt about it. Krishna's form, Krishna's float, Krishna's color, everything is reality. Here it is said that this Vijnana is always defeating all kinds of speculative knowledge. Therefore, without your appearing as Krishna, you are nine. Okay, the demigod says, therefore, without your appearing as Krishna, as you are, neither Ajnana Vidambhamarjana, the destruction of the nescience of speculative knowledge, nor Vijnana would be realized. In other words, your appearance will vanquish the ignorance of speculative knowledge and establish the real experienced knowledge of authorities like Lord Brahma. Men influenced by the three modes of material nature imagine their own God according to the modes of material nature. In this way, God is presented in various ways, but your appearance will establish the real form of God is. End quote. The highest blunder committed by the impersonalist is to think that when the incarnation of God comes, he accepts the form of matter and the mode of goodness. Actually, the form of Krishna or Narayana is transcendental to any idea, of any material idea. Even the greatest impersonalist, Shankaracharya, has admitted Narayana Paravyakthat, the material creation is caused by Avyakta, personal manifestation of matter, or the non-phenomenal total reservoir of matter. But Krishna is transcendental, and that material conception that is expressed in Srimad Bhagavatam as Suryasattva, or transcendental goodness. He does not belong to the material mode of goodness, and he is above the position of material goodness. He belongs to the transcendental, eternal status of bliss and knowledge. Dear Lord, when you appear, the demigod says, Dear Lord, when you appear in your different incarnation, you take different names and forms according to different situation. Lord Krishna is your name because you're all attractive. You are called Shyamasundar because of your transcendental beauty. Shyama means blackish, yet it is said that you are more beautiful than thousands of Cupid. Gandharva Koti Kamania. Okay, so pause by the whisperer. First of all, imagine the one you're crushing on, the one you're always thinking about, the one you think the most lovable, adorable, beautiful, worshipful personality. How beautiful and attractive and sexy they are. Okay, Krishna defeats trillions and trillions of them just by tilting his head a bit. Although you appear in a color which is compared to the blackish cloud, because you are the transcendental absolute, your beauty is many, many times more attractive Okay, I'm going to stop right there and save the page. Have a beautiful night and an even better day. Krishna and Mathiras too. Always remember Krishna. May you all be blessed.